Welcome back to the podcast. All right, this is part two of the launch mini series. Today, we are talking about creating your irresistible lead magnet. Now, this is really an important part of, thinking about launching because it's going to allow you to identify your leads, bring in people, and really see who is interested in your offer. It also allows you to create more offer awareness with how you're actually going to create your lead magnet, which is what we were going to go into today, because I see this happen so often. People are like wanting to grow their email list or wanting to have a lead magnet, but there's really either no intention behind it or they're thinking about, they want to grow their email list to a certain number and have a number of subscribers. Well, that doesn't really make sense. If you're just thinking about it as having numbers on your list, those aren't leads that are going to convert. Those two things are different. So when we're thinking about this in terms of your launch, you really want your lead magnet to be something that is very specific. So the way that you're going to do this, or you can do this, you can do whatever the hell you want. You don't have to, you don't have to do this at all. But the way that you can set up your lead magnet is by creating it directly from your offer. That is how these things are going to connect. Instead of just throwing something random out there, being like, clickbait lead magnet, grab this thing that sounds like super amazing, get on my list because I want to have 10,000 subscribers or whatever. That's all good and fine. But if those subscribers are not actually engaged, they're not opening your emails, they're not listening to anything that you're saying, well, they're not valuable leads. They're not really leads at all. Like, you really want people that grab this lead magnet because they're actually interested in what comes next, which is going to be your offer. And the way that you do that is by creating something that relates to your offer. Now, of course, you can argue that there are still going to be people that just, want to see it just out of interest. Of course there are. That's always going to happen. Like, that's just human behavior. But when you are thinking more strategically and intentionally about this, and you're really creating your lead magnet from your offer, it's going to work a lot better than doing something that's just random thrown out there. So take a piece of your offer and then actually take a piece of it. What do you teach in your offer, or what kind of one step of your offer type thing? What can you take and package that into a lead magnet so that you can have that and then have that leading into your offer? People can go to the lead magnet. The obvious next step is your offer. The second part of this, you need to provide value. You have to provide value. Like, I cannot stress this enough. You have to provide value. You have to give a lead magnet that actually is going to get them some kind of result. Even if it's just like a mini win, a mini result for now, that pushes them a little bit further. It lets people know you actually know what you're talking about. And it makes them want to invest further with you. Because if they grab your lead magnet and go through it and it's just like, that was nice, but it's all things that, they could have found in 2 minutes on Google. Well, who cares? That's not going to be enough for them to want to invest. And especially if your offer is like thousands of dollars. Okay, so really think about how you can provide value. And the other thing with this, I know a lot of people have said before, don't give everything away and you like watch out because, or there's the mindset of, if I give too much, people won't want to invest. So, two things here. There's never going to be anything like working with you directly. Unless you are literally giving away your offer for free, it's still not going to be the same thing. So you can have, a masterclass or a private podcast, or you can have like whatever it is. There are lots of things you can do, challenges, tons of different things. You can do that. It's still not going to be the same as working one-on-one or however your offer is structured. Still not going to be the same. And even if you get people a small result with this freebie, it doesn't mean that they're not going to want to invest with you further. It shows them that you are worth the investment. But when they're not getting anything out of it, that makes people be like, whoa, I don't know if I want to go any further because what am I going to get out of paying them? Think about like, you know, if you've been doing this for a bit and you have invested in different programs, different courses and micro offers and like different stuff. And maybe you've had lead magnets before that, like of other people. And maybe you've had the experience where you're not getting results. A lot of other people have too. And people are becoming more aware of what they are investing in and really watching what they're wanting to invest in. So you have to make sure, like, you have to step up to meet that and really be showing that you are someone that is going to give the value that's worth them investing in. Because people, honestly, people don't want to be fucked over anymore. Just like put it bluntly, people don't. So you want to show that you are going to be someone that's going to be worth investing in. The last thing to consider with this, the best way to actually package your freebie. And this is in terms of what do you like to do? How do you want to do it? And also, what is going to work best for your ideal client to actually consume it? So, always give this example. If you hate doing master classes, stop goddamn doing them. Stop doing them. Never do another one again. For me personally, I love doing them. I absolutely love it. I love teaching. I love doing this stuff. So I use them. I really enjoy it. So it is something that I do. Not everyone likes it, but it's not something that you have to do. It's one of those things that we see online that a lot of people do, but it's not the only way to convert clients, and it's not the only way to success. The way to success for you is going to be finding what actually works for you. So really think about, what is it that you want to do? How do you want to structure this? And you can do it any way you want. Like, if you come up with some wild idea and you're like, oh my God, I've never heard of this before. Like, I don't know if this has ever been done before. Should I do it? Yeah. Yeah, you should. Why wouldn't you? You can be the first. You can always be the first doing things. Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean that it can't be done. You can totally be the first. So think outside the box. Like, how do you want to do this? And then in terms of what's going to be best for your client, or ideal client. So the example that I really like to think about is, if your ideal client is a busy mom, she's working during the day, she's on the go, you know, driving her kids around, has all this stuff, whatever. You don't want to be having, if you do like master classes, you don't want to be having a master class, or let's say even like you do a challenge and you have lives at a specific time. You don't want to be doing them in the middle of the day when she's at work or like picking up her kids from school or at supper time when things are going to be crazy, right? Those aren't the time. And when you think about it this way, also remember, like, if you do that, and if you have done this in the past, just give it some thought, because that alone can deter people from even signing up, from even opting into your freebie, because they know that doesn't work for them. They know they're not going to be able to do it. And yeah, there might be a replay, but it's like, do I really want to? And when you make it more convenient for them, like if it's something, you could do something that's just audio that they can listen to on the go, or, email an email series that you drip out. Like there's so many different things, but making it more convenient so that they will actually think, that would work for me. Like I want to give this a try because I can actually do it. Then they will actually consume it and they'll actually do it, is the other thing. Because if you have this lead magnet out there and people opt in, but then they don't do it, that's the kind of other piece. If they don't do it, you're not really like getting the results that you want from the lead magnet. Yes, you should have the email set up afterwards to also sell your offer, but the connection hasn't been made because they haven't actually consumed the lead magnet. So it's considering all of these things, and it's a number of things to consider, but when you are thinking about it from, your one offer, what you want to do in your business, not what everyone else is doing, it's not, I don't want to say it's not hard, but it becomes a lot easier because you can really think about, okay, so what do I want to do with this? What am I really drawn towards? What do I think that my ideal clients would really resonate with? That's what you want to think about. And then once you have that made, so you can, use your lead magnet in a couple different ways. So obviously, if you're using this for a launch, you can use it to kick off your launch as like in your pre-launch period, especially if you're doing like the open and close launch model, you can do that. And we're going to talk about like models and timelines and stuff like that in another episode further along in the series. But you can absolutely do that, and it can help like kick off your launch. So then it leads into your offer, creates more awareness in that pre-launch period. That's a really good idea. The other thing that you can do is if your offer is something that you're wanting to, have enrolling all of the time, this lead magnet just stays up all the time and people can constantly be opting in for it, and always be driven towards your offer that's enrolling all the time, that's evergreen, right? So you can have that available at all times. And then it's just running there in the background. You can promote it every once in a while. You can promote it however often you want, right? Make sure you talk about it sometimes, because not everyone knows that the link is there in your bio. So do make sure that like you let them know that it's there, where it is, how to get it. Otherwise, people won't know. So make sure that you do tell them, but you can use it either way. It is up to you, but it is important to have so that you're really creating that awareness and you're bringing people closer. You're also, you know, creating that second way where you're not only selling to them on social media, on Instagram, but they're also hearing it through your emails, right? So they're hearing it twice. And no, it's not overkill. No, it is not. I get asked that a lot. Is that too much? No, it's not too much. Okay, so I have talked about this launch series on podcasts here, on my Instagram, on my blog, on TikTok, on everything. It's not too much because the thing is, not everybody is going to see it. Not everyone's going to see the same things. Not everyone follows you on the same platforms. And sometimes people are distracted, so they won't see it in one place and then they'll see it in another. And it's not too much. Sometimes they need to see it multiple times. It's totally not too much. So if you can get them on your email list and you're putting them through there, and then you're selling on Instagram as well, and they're hearing about your offer twice after they've done your lead magnet, that's going to make it like even more obvious that, they got this quick win from your lead magnet. The next step is your offer. And that's the support that they need now to take it even further. So that was it for today. It's just a kind of a shorter one. And hopefully that was helpful in, thinking about your lead magnet and how you can actually really develop it and think about it as creating it from your offer. That's like one of the most important parts so that it is not something random and it really drives towards your offer. If you have any questions at all, obviously, just make sure you message me on Instagram at I am Tara Leeson. I would love to hear from you and any takeaways that you have. And if you are interested in the 6-week intensive, of course, I will leave the link in the show notes as well as in the description on YouTube. Next up in the series is something that I love, systems and automations. So how you can bring in the sales without sending out links or emails manually. So that's what we're doing next. If you are on YouTube, I would love if you would like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.